Good afternoon, Braves country. We made it. Atlanta Braves lead this one 1-0, top of the fourth. 2-1 pitch to Matt Olson. Swung on, comebacker to the mound. Flexen's got it, flips it over to first. And it's a 1-3 put out, one away. Braves 1. White Sox 0. Marcell Ozuna will come to the plate. And there's some kind of a conference going on with home plate umpire Eric Backus is heading to talk to the other umpires. And I don't know what it is. It does not appear to be weather related, but it could be the fact that Flexen, they want to check what's on the side of his pants. And I think that's what it is. It looked like it could be tar or something. That'd be pretty silly for Flexen to do that considering the White Sox. It's good, give me a chance to settle in here and explain it. White Sox, head to toe, are wearing white in their classic black pinstripes with black lettering, black numerals, socks down the chest, down the left chest. They're checking out there for basically an illegal substance of what he, and it looks like it's just plain old-fashioned dirt or whatever. It doesn't. It's not a sticky substance, so that's what they were doing. And I think that was Brian. That came from Brian Snicker. He saw. I mean, if you see it, if you're listening to this on radio and you see the side of his pants, you kind of understand why they would ask that. But back to the action. The 42nd pitch of the afternoon, down and away to Marcell Ozuna. The Big Zoo takes it. It's 1-0. Braves are wearing their road grays. Atlanta across the chest. Lettering in red, outlined by blue. Numbers in red, outlined by blue on the back. Is the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss up top. Cutter, it's 1-1. And blue writing on the back of the chest with their names. Atlanta with the tomahawk in front. The 1-1 from Flexen. Kicks and fires, down and away, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. And yes, we will be doing the post-game show. This is the one game, y'all. We do apologize for the late start. This is the one game on the entire schedule that we knew was going to be an issue. And I was hoping to get here about it by the second inning, but we had some traffic issues. The 2-1 pitch, down and away, 3-1. So the post-game, the post-game shows pretty much plan on doing all of them this year. The only time we won't be able to do them if it's a really late ending to the game and I have to be up super early. Other than that, we're doing them. The 3-1 pitch, right there for a strike. Looked a tad off the plate, but gave it to him anyways. It's a full count. Braves 1. Sox nothing. The payoff pitch from Flexen. Righty deals. Swing and lifts that out of play. Foul down the line. We'll do it again. Marcel reached for that one out of the zone, but it's got to be in direct response to the fact that Backus called that last one that was out of the zone for a strike. There's another game going on in the windy city of Chicago today. Really odd, both opening days in Chicago. I don't know if we got any Chicago fans in the chat, but I'd love to know if that's a normal thing. The 3-2 pitch swung on and ripped foul down the third base line out in front of it. We'll do it again. Typically, a city that has two teams would have opening day for one team, and then opening day for the other team 3 or 4 days later. The 3-2 pitch swung on. That ball is rifled into right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. And the big zoo makes it 1 on, 1 out for your Atlanta Braves. Michael Harris II coming to the hill. Coming to the plate. Excuse me. Righty-lefty. Flexing digs in the pitch. Down and away and in. It's 1-0. We were playing with this. If y'all prefer the other layout, that's fine. This one gives you a little more stuff of what's going on in the game. But I really don't care. I just felt like this was a better layout. The other one's a little more generic, I guess. The 1-0 pitch. Swung on. That ball is slapped into left field. That ball's going to get down, and it is going to roll up against the wall, down where the green grass goes. Here comes Ozuna. They're going to send him. He's a chugging. And now they're going to put the brakes on him. I think Ozuna was running out of gas there, and they decided not to get him thrown out with 1 out. I guarantee you Ron Washington sent it. But Tuyasa Soko said, maybe not. Let's not pump a hamstring on April 1st. We do apologize for the late start. For those of y'all missed the memos over the last few days. This is the one game that we were going to be late. We actually thought the game might get rained out. First pitch on the way to Arcia is up top. Misses high for a ball. It's 1-0. The rest of the games, there shouldn't be, barring any kind of weirdness, there shouldn't be any delays. Runners on second and third, 1 out. Top of the 4th inning, Braves lead at 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball just grabs the outer edge. Good pitch. It's 1-1. Thank you, Diana. I think I like it better too, but the other one just seems a little more. It's not terrible, but I like this layout a lot better. The 1-1 pitch. Down and in. They're going to call that a ball. Might have clipped the bottom of the zone, but we'll take it. It's 2-1. Maybe that makes up a little bit for the one that was blown for Marcell Ozuna. Braves 1, Sox nothing. Runners on second and third. Arcia digs in. Swing! And that ball's lifted high and deep into left field. That's going to get down where the green grass grows. 1 run will score. Ozuna comes in. 2 runs will score. MH2 crosses the plate. And it is a bases clearing double for Orlando. See you later. The Magic Kingdom makes it 3-0. Really swinging that bat well, isn't he? They're going to go out there and talk to Flexen for a second. Try to calm him down a little bit. Arcia's having a little bit of a chuckle with the second base umpire. Braves 3, White Sox nothing. Top of the 4th inning. That'll bring Travis d'Arnaud. He is head to toe. That man is cold. He is head to toe with a scarf over his face. You can't hardly make him out. First pitch on the way to d'Arnaud is down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Right there for a strike at the knees. Ball 2-0. Or 1-1, excuse me. So a 1-1 count. Flexen's at 52 pitches. The infield is back and playing d'Arnaud to pull. The 1-1, high and out of the zone, 2-1. The temperatures are in the low 40s and the wind is not terribly strong, but they are saying that the cold index is the 2-1 pitch, down and away, 3-1. Good take by Travis d'Arnaud. So they're saying that the wind chill factor is in the high 30s. You would think it was like 2 or 4 degrees out there the way Travis d'Arnaud is wrapped up. Braves 3, White Sox nothing. On today's post-game show, we're also going to, not only will we go over this game, we'll go over the Philly series. The 3-1 pitch swung on, just rifled back, foul slaps up against the screen. You see that ball go straight back to the screen like that, you know Travis just missed one. Sean Murphy on the IL. Chadwick Tromp is now the backup catcher. The latest on Murphy is they're expecting probably for him to be gone maybe a little less than a month. It was a grade 2 hamstring strain, so oblique strain. If it would have been grade 3, we're probably talking about 2 to 3 months. So that is some good news. I say just let him get healthy, let him get back, get Chadwick Tromp some ABs and whatnot, and let's go. The 3-2 pitch, down and away, ball 4. So a good, not good, great at bat by Travis d'Arnaud. And TDA heads on down to first base. Runners on first and second. 1 out. JK Kid, Jared Kelnick's coming to the plate. First pitch on the way to Kelnick is down and in, trying to get him to chase that change in the dirt. It's 1-0. d'Arnaud on first. RC on second. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled down the third base line, but plenty out of play. 1-1. Kelnick 1 for 1 with the single in the third. I was trying to keep up with the game on my way in. Caught a little bit. I'll tell you what, there is nobody in the stands here in Chicago on opening day. The 1-1 pitch right there at the knees, 1-2. I know it's a Monday and I know it's a day game, but that's got to be a huge concern if you're White Sox owners, White Sox brass, that there looks like to be maybe 8,000 to 10,000 people in the stands. And that's a big maybe. I mean, this looks like something that the Marlins or Rays roll out there. We'll stop in the action as an errant ball got away. Would say the ball boy, but the ball man has retrieved it. So a 1-2 count to Kelnick. Runners on first and second. 1 down. The pitch. Curveball misses high. 2-2. kind of a slow bending 71-mile-an-hour curveball. He's gone changeup, 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 then goes to the curve. The curve's coming in at 71. The change is coming in at 80. His fastball tops out around the high 80s. The 2-2. Swing and fouls that back down the line. Will it stay in play? Giving chase. Making the catch is the third baseman. Two away. Nicky Lopez playing second base for the Chicago White Sox today. It was good to see him. I saw a video this morning of him giving Spencer Strider a big hug before the game. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Acuna takes the first pitch outside wide for a ball. It's 1-0. I had it written down wrong. That was Paul DeYoung that made the catch at third base. So used to him being a shortstop, I jotted that down for the pregame as the 0-1 pitch is swung on and rifled straight back. It's 0-2. Paul DeYoung played for the St. Louis Cardinals for quite some time, and he spent a lot of his time as a second baseman, a shortstop. The 0-2 pitch swung on. That ball is smoked to third, a one-hopper, but making the play and stepping on the bag to end the inning is Moncada. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country.
I might be poor, I might be dumb as but I got tattoos and I feel cute sometimes.
Why did you get so drunk?
You got drunk. I'm just really exhausted.
What's in that cup?
Rum and Cokes.
Do you have any idea how important this is? We're trying to save the pump cup. Really? This is what you're doing? This is what you're doing?
So, I tried to act normal today. Yep. It was the worst minute of my life!
Is it November?
Yeah.
And things are going well?
Yeah.
Introducing Daylight Savings.
What's that?
Daylight Savings Time was created to confuse you and make you more depressed than you already were.
Wow, it's dark out. It must be getting late. Wow, it's dark out. It must be 3:30.
When Daylight Savings ends, you can leave for work when it's dark out, sit inside all day, and get home from work when it's dark out.
Yeah, that sounds really bad.
Now you get it.
Summer was great. I'd hang out with my friends laughing in the sun until 9 p.m. And now some days I don't even see the sun, which is not good.
Try it today.
I don't have a choice.
Go ahead and paint me red and black and call me Jumper Cables, baby, because I'm finna start some today.
At the turn of the century, Major League veterans often refused even to speak to new players. Once, early in his career, a shy young outfielder dared compliment a New York Giant for hitting a home run. "Nice hit," he said. The veteran answered, "Go to hell." The young player was Honus Wagner, on his way to becoming the greatest player in the National League.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Your Atlanta Braves lead this one 3-0, and Uncle Charlie's going to go back to work. Charlie Morton spinning a shutout so far. 3 scoreless innings. The right-hander comes set, turns and deals. Curveball right there at the knees on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to DeYoung, struck out in the first, takes it up high. It's 1-1. So a 1-1 count. The pitch, swing and a miss down the pipe. 1-2. Fastball blew it right by him. 1-2 count to DeYoung, who did hit a home run earlier this week. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. Got him with the gas on the outer edge, and there's one away. Just pumping 93 up top. With that low 70s curveball, that's got to look like about 108 miles an hour coming from Charlie. Braves 3, Sox nothing. Bottom of the 4th inning. The pitch to Nicky Lopez right there on the outer edge for a strike. It's 0-1. Nicky, of course, came over to the Atlanta Braves, left in the offseason, part of one of the many trades the Braves made. It's the 0-1 pitch. Right there is fouled off for a strike. It's 0-2. Don't believe we'll see Mike Soroka in this series. He's not scheduled to pitch until the weekend. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on it, fouled away. We'll do it again. Probably by design by the White Sox. They probably didn't want him to have to face his old team this quickly. The 0-2. Swung on, chopper right back to the mound. Charlie's got it, flips it over to first, and it's a 1-3 putout, 2 away. Two down. That'll bring the right-handed bat of Maldonado to the plate. The hind catcher takes a hack at the first pitch, grounds it towards the third base dugout. Foul. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Kicks and deals. Swing and a miss up top. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Charlie Morton, 63 pitches in. He'll step off the mound for a second and regroup. The pitch from Morton lifts the glove and lets her go. Fastball misses high, 94. It's 1-2. The 1-2. Another fastball misses high. We'll do it again. Looks like he's trying to get him to chase that fastball up top now that he got the 2 strikes. You wonder if he might try to throw a bender at Maldonado. The 2-2 pitch. Curveball down and away. Full count. So after an 0-2 count, Nibbling has gotten him to a full count at 3-2. The payoff pitch from Charlie. Swung on, pops it up. High in the sky. Can of corn. Fighting the elements. And a snow cone pop out, but Austin Riley holds on to it. That'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning. Your Atlanta Braves 3, the White Sox nothing.
I wish I could say the D word.
What'd you say?
I said I wish I could say the D word.
Okay, I hate to ask, but what is the D word?
Will I get in trouble if I say it?
Well, I don't know if you're going to get in trouble because I don't know what you think the D word is.
So can I say it?
All right, just say it so I know what you're talking about. Maybe I shouldn't have asked.
How could it be moose for 1 and then moose for 3 or 4? That don't make no sense.
Okay. You've never heard meese. You've never heard somebody refer to moose as meese. You've never heard that. Have you ever heard that?
Well, first of all, we live in L.A. Ain't no meese out here.
Larry McPhail was a banker's hard-drinking son, a born promoter, impatient with tradition, desperate to find new ways to boost attendance and rescue his club from bankruptcy in the midst of the Depression. And he hired a young Southerner named Walter Barber, who had never even seen a major league game, to do the play-by-play.
Anything new has to establish itself and gain its own credentials. When radio came along, some of the entrenched conservative owners said, wait a minute, why give away something that you're trying to sell for your living, to try and keep your enterprise afloat? And especially on days of threatening weather, when people would say, well, it looks like it may rain, I'll just listen to the radio and I won't go. They did not realize at that time that it would be creating new fans, that it would be making families of fans. Before radio, by and large, the people who came into a ballpark were men. Once radio came along and came into the homes, women began to understand the game. They didn't have to have somebody explain it to them. The play-by-play broadcaster was doing it. And attendance visibly went up when you had families coming instead of single members of the family. Radio made new fans.
Oh, man, it couldn't be a nicer afternoon. This is the one we've been waiting for. In baseball, they'd like to no more measles and free tickets to the circus.
Welcome back. Your Atlanta Braves will enter top of the fifth inning, leading 3-0. Ozzie Albies will be leading this off. We'll have Ozzie, Austin Riley, Matt Olson due up. So lefty, righty, lefty to face Flexen, the right-hander. First pitch on the way to from Flexen is a curveball 70 miles an hour. That's almost an eephus pitch. Down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. The 1-0. Rocks and fire. Swing! And that ball's lifted high into right field, going back on the track. Making the catch at the warning track is Fletcher. He had to get up on his horse. Ozzie really put a charge into that one, but the wind, I think, knocked that one down. Strong, stiff wind coming in from the left field side towards right field, but it's blowing left to right, but it's blowing it just a touch in. That'll bring Austin Riley to the plate. Austin Riley takes the first pitch up top, 90-mile-an-hour cutter. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Rocks, sets, lets her go. Down below the knees, cutter misses. 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Riley. Nobody on. 1 out. Top of the fifth inning. Flexen flips it up there and just misses outside. It's 2-1. The 2-1. Moncada sets up outside. The pitch swung on and lifted high and well out of play over the first base side. Evens up the count at 2-2. Braves and White Sox are back at it tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. Or 7 o'clock Eastern will be the pregame show, 7:40 first pitch. The 2-2. Down and away. 3-2. And then we're back at it day game on Wednesday. The 3-2 pitch to Riley. Misses outside, ball 4. So a 1-out walk. Austin Riley heads down to first. That'll bring up Matt Olson. If anybody can cut into that win, it'll be the Ice House. Maldonado's coming back out there to talk to Flexen. A little bit of a group chat. Looks like that's the shortstop DeYoung as well out there. Pre-game, DeYoung and Moncada, the lineup was released with DeYoung at short, DeYoung at third, Moncada at short, and they've both played all over the infield. I didn't get a chance to see the very beginning of the game, but it appears that they have flipped because the end of that inning where we picked up in the action, Moncada is at short and DeYoung is at third. First pitch on the way to Matt Olson is swung on. That ball is ripped over to right field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Hard hit ball, didn't go very far, but it tore up some worms on the way there. Man, was that a hard hit ball. into the glove of right fielder Fletcher. Braves got runners on first and second. One out. And the big zoo coming to the plate. Now we're getting that's going to be it. Chris Flexen will hit the showers, and we'll take a quick break. When we come back, runners on first and second, one out. We got a pitching change in the Windy City.
Everybody stop. I didn't go to the Lakers game because they were playing the Bobcats. And I came here today because I thought this was a session on how my wife could learn to communicate, how to answer a question without a question, which I thought, given your wall of diplomas, you could easily fix. Or if you couldn't, you could give her a pill that could either fix it or make her a mute. But now, to turn around and gang up on me, I have hundreds of clients to deal with. And just so we're clear, I don't care about any of them. They're all just a number, like wife number 1 and therapist number 7. Good day.
The donkey said to the tiger, "The grass is blue." The tiger replied, "No, the grass is green." The discussion heated up, and the two decided to went before the lion, the king of the jungle. The donkey began to shout, "Your Highness, is it true that the grass is blue?" The lion replied, "True, the grass is blue. The tiger will be punished with 5 years of silence." The tiger accepted his punishment, but before he asked the lion, "Your Majesty, why have you punished me?" The lion replied, "The worst waste of time is arguing with the fool and fanatic who does not care about truth or reality, but only the victory of his beliefs and illusions."
Sure, he called a shot. No question about it. The difficulty is, did he point? Did he stand extravagantly and point to center field the way William Bendix did in that terrible movie? No, he didn't.
Ironically, Gehrig was the real star of the Yankees' 4-game sweep, but few would remember his performance in the face of all the publicity Ruth got. Ruth himself was evasive when asked if he really had called his shot. "It's in the papers, isn't it?" he said. "Why don't you read the paper?" 1 month later, Franklin Roosevelt was elected president, pledged to bring his country out of the Depression. "I have no expectation of making a hit every time I come to bat," Roosevelt said. "What I seek is the highest possible batting average, not only for myself, but for my team."
Welcome back. Brian Shaw, the right-hander, set to face Ozuna. The first pitch from Shaw is down and away for a ball. It's 1-0. Brian Shaw, last season with a 4.14 ERA, has the high stirrups. The righty comes set. The pitch. Down and away again, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. Good block by Maldonado. That easily could have ended up to the backstop, which would have put both runners at second and third. Braves 3, Sox nothing. Top of the 5th, the pitch. Swung on, lifted high and deep into right field. Not going to be deep enough. That wind's going to smack it down. Riley will tag up. He will head on down to third, and the Braves got runners on the corners. 2 outs. Michael Harris the second coming to the dish. Brian Shaw, 36-year-old, from Livermore, California, drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks way back in 2008 from Long Beach State. He's played at Colorado, Cleveland, Seattle. First pitch on the way is inside for a ball to Michael Harris. It's 1-0. Harris 1 for 2 with a double, hitting .467 this season. Really, he's come out on fire. 1,300 OPS. The 1-0 pitch. Right there for a strike. It's 1-1. The 1-1. Kicks and fires outside wide. 2-1. They're dialing it up as a sinker, but really has more second two-seam action than sinking action. The 2-1 to Harris. Swung on. That ball's hit hard down the right field line. Just foul. If that ball is fair, there's a chance Olson may have scored from first. Even as slow-footed as he is, that ball was going to be in the corner and be a problem. It was just foul. Man, that is close. Did look like it went over the bag foul, but just barely. So a 2-2 count. Deuces Wild in the Windy City. 2 on, 2 out, the 2-2 pitch. Shaw comes set. He is taking a while. Is there not a pitch clock? Okay, there we go. I was about to say there's got to be a pitch clock. Oh, Harris called a timeout. I swear that felt like about 45 seconds sitting there watching Shaw come set. I thought they were calling 2-1. Oh, it was close. I think if Harris lets him go through his motion, he's going to end up getting the automatic ball. The 2-2 pitch, down and in, 3-2. Looks like Harris had gotten something in his eye, maybe some dirt or something. So he called the timeout. But if he was able to hold on, he probably gets a free ball on that one. But we've got a full count. I mean, right there, Shaw once again, I mean, he is waiting till the very last second. A full count, the pitch, runners go. Swung on that ball, smack down the left field line, but foul. 93-mile-an-hour cutter that he sends the other way. So we'll do it again. Olson will be in motion. Riley at third, Olson at first. 3-2 count to Harris, the payoff pitch. Down and in, ball 4. The bases are loaded. There are 2 out. That'll bring Orlando Arcia to the plate. First pitch on the way is a swing and a miss. Over the plate, it's 0-1. Ducks all over the pond. Lando Arcia 1 for 2. The 0-1 in the dirt. That ball is loose. That ball's going to go all the way to the backstop. Austin Riley will cruise on home in your Atlanta Braves. Lead it 4-0. That was a wild pitch. Maldonado tried to backhand it and shot up in front of him, ricocheted off the back end of his glove. There's a big area behind home plate all the way to the backstop. As the 1-1 pitch is called for a strike on the outer edge, it's 1-2. There's a lot of real estate behind home plate. So that ball bounced for days. The 1-2 pitch to Orlando. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Shaw gets him out of the inning, but not for your Atlanta Braves. Add another run on the board. We'll be back in a flash. Braves Country Radio, Atlanta 4. White Sox nothing.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. The San Francisco Giants were very close to becoming the Toronto Giants. In 1976, Giants owner Horace Stoneham sold the team to a group of companies in Toronto. The Toronto Giants were set to debut later that year, but a U.S. court stopped the deal. After hearing the news, a man named Bob Lurie bought the Giants and kept them in San Francisco.
What's the best part of being a Mets fan?
To be honest with you, the character development, it really builds you for the rest of your life because it's such a miserable franchise. A lot of peaks and valleys with this team.
So if that's the best part, what's the worst part?
Probably May through September.
Myers bringing it, and the pitch is hit in the air, foul, off first, Benzinger backing and calling, and the 1990 World Championship belongs to the Cincinnati Reds.
Bell, left field, way back. Blue Jays win it. The Blue Jays are World Series champions as Joe Carter hits a 3-run home run in the 9th inning, and the Blue Jays have repeated as World Series champions. Touch them all, Joe. You'll never hit a bigger home run in your life.
On August 2nd, 1907, I encountered the most threatening sight I ever saw on a ball field. He was only a rookie, and we licked our lips as we warmed up. Evidently, manager Pongo Joe Cantillon had picked a rube out of the cornfields of the deepest bushes to pitch against us. He was a tall, shambling galoot, with arms so long they hung far out of his sleeves and with a sidearm delivery that looked unimpressive at first glance. One of the Tigers imitated a cow mooing, and we hollered, "Get the pitchfork ready, Joe. Your hayseed's on the way back to the barn." The first time I faced him, I watched him take that easy wind-up, and then something went past that made me flinch. The thing just hissed with danger. We couldn't touch him. Every one of us knew we'd met the most powerful arm ever turned loose in a ballpark. Ty Cobb.
Welcome back. Charlie Morton will go back to work. Morton on the day as he comes set to face the number 9 hitter Fletcher. It'll be Fletcher, Benintendi, and Moncada here in the 5th. First pitch on the way is a curveball that misses out on the outer edge. It's 1-0. Charlie Morton, 4 innings, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball misses inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. The pitch. Fastball right there at the top of the zone. 92 miles an hour, 2-1. The 2-1 pitch from Charlie Morton. Fastball swung on, roasted over to second. It's an atom ball, backhanded by Ozzie Albies, 1 away. It is scoreless on the north side. The Cubs lead. The Cubs and Rockies 0-0 there in the 6th inning. Game started about 10 minutes after ours. Charlie Morton back to work, the leadoff hitter. Benintendi takes the first pitch inside for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Way outside wide, 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Pitch swung on, lifted high, not very deep. Camping under it is Michael Harris II in left center field. He'll make the catch. 2 away. Yohan Moncada coming to the plate. The first pitch to Moncada is a 93 mile an hour. Got her up there in the top of the zone. Just missed, I guess. It's 1-0. The 1-1 from Charlie Morton after the curveball right there at the knees. Fastball high and out of the zone, 2-1. So a 2-1 count. Swing and fouls that back out of play. It's 2-2. I don't think Nick Saban would take that Alabama job now, Robert. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and sliced that foul down the line. We'll do it again. Braves 4, Sox nothing. Bottom of the 5th inning. Charlie Morton, 77 pitches in. He'll rock, he'll fire, swung on. That ball sliced down the left field line. Figure Charlie, if he can get out of this inning right here, they'll probably rush him back out there for a 6th inning. There is a threat of rain. We'll check on that at the break. The 2-2 from Charlie. Fastball misses high, 3-2. The 3-2 from Morton. Swung on, that ball is laced over to Ozzie. Another liner that he will grab with the webbing of his glove heading towards first, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down, and 2 really good defensive plays by Ozzie Albies. We'll be back in a flash.
So you've gone insane. That's fun.
Name an animal with 3 letters in its name.
Dog. Dog. Cat. Bat. Rat. Ape. Fly. Bee. Pig. Hog. Hen. Eel. Ant.
Frog.
Unbelievable.
So I heard these 2 people talking, and this guy said, Becky, I was on my walk this morning, and I got bit by a Rottweiler. And she said, oh, my God, imagine if that would have been a small child. And he said, for sakes, Becky, I could have fought off a small child.
I should have gone to law school or high school.
Man, we just watched it go down up here in a drug bust, and it was crazy. It reminded me back of my days of dealing drugs. There's 3 things you don't do. 1, you don't sell drugs near a state line. That's just common sense. Number 2, you never sell drugs to a guy that's got all his teeth. And number 3, you don't sell drugs, y'all.
John Montgomery Ward's brotherhood was crushed, and the reserve clause remained firmly in place. The players were even more powerless than they had been before. Albert Goodwill Spaulding's National League swallowed up both its rivals, and now, swollen to 12 teams, held a monopoly on Major League Baseball.
The Players' League is deader than the proverbial doornail. When the spring comes and the grass is green upon the last resting place of anarchy, the national agreement will rise again in all its weight and restore to America, in all its purity, its national pastime. The great game of baseball. Albert Goodwill Spaulding.
Welcome back. Braves country. Travis d'Arnaud takes the first pitch from Shaw. It's called for a strike on the outer edge. It's 0-1. Righty-righty matchup. The 0-1 pitch swung on, pops it up. Can of corn over into the second base area in very shallow right field. Leaning back, making the catch is little Nicky Lopez. One away. Looking at the rain, they're expecting another front to come in about the next 15 to 20 minutes. It doesn't look terribly threatening. And after that, it looks like we might actually get this game in. The forecast this morning looked terrible. The first pitch on the way to Kelnick was down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. A lot of stuff that has to go on to set up these broadcasts. I got up at 4 o'clock this morning to set up the game, so when I came in, I could just basically start go at it. As the 1-0 pitch is swung on and fouled back, it's 1-1. Had to leave for work about an hour later or so. And I got to work and was checking the weather. I was like, are you kidding me? This game's going to get rained out after me getting up and getting no sleep last night. And then as it got closer, the predictions of rainouts went away. The 1-1. This is outside 2-1. The problem is, if you look at the forecast for Chicago the next few days, it doesn't get much better. So a 1-2 count to Jared Kelnick, the number 9 hitter. The pitch. Outside wide, 95 miles an hour. 2-2. The 2-2 from Shaw. Way outside wide, 3-2. Ball got away from Aldonado with no one on base. He didn't really make that tough of an attempt. So the payoff pitch to Kelenic. Shaw, 20 pitches in. He came in last inning to relieve Flexen, who got ran from the game. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3. 93 miles an hour, pumped it right by him. 2 away. Kelenic's been swinging a pretty good bat. End of spring training to start the season. He'll give way to Ronald Acuna Jr. He's got the mask and the scarf and everything. You can't really see his eyeballs. First pitch on the way to Acuna is a swing and a miss strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Pitch on the way, swing, and that ball's roasted into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes Ronald Acuna Jr. He is going to wind around first, heading into second, and it's a 2-out double for Acuna Mentada. He hit that thing on the line. Get to see him get extra bases. So I'm looking at the weather for tomorrow. Oof. I mean, it is supposed to rain all day long in Chicago. I don't know how they're going to get that game in. That'll bring Ozzie Albies to the plate. Ozzie will take the first pitch down and in for a ball. It's 1-0. Wednesday, they're calling for possible snow. And around 75% precipitation on Wednesday. So that one could be iffy as well. The 1-0 pitch swung on. That ball's blasted high and deep into right field. It is down off the track, smacking off the wall. Here comes Ronald Acuna Jr. He'll score. He does the gritty crossing the plate, and your Atlanta Braves lead it 5-0. RBI double for Ozzie Albies, who has started this season off with a hot streak. That ball almost left the yard. I think if that wind wasn't out there playing tricks, that ball's gone. That ball just... Fletcher was closing in on it and was about one length away from making the catch. First pitch to Austin Riley. That ball gets smoked into left field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Here comes Ozzie Albies. He'll score, and your Atlanta Braves lead it 6-0 here in Chicago. Six nothing. Matt Olson comes to the plate. This is an official game, so that's another thing that you love about this. First pitch on the way to Olson is right there off the plate, misses wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Fastball missed by about 2 or 3 inches. The 1-0 from Shaw. Kicks and fires. Curveball. Just grabs the top of the zone, 1-1. His cutter's coming in 92, 93 miles an hour. The curve, it's kind of a whipping, snapping curve, almost like a wiffle ball type curve. It's grinding in at about 80. The 1-1, down and in. Called it a ball, but I think it might be because it handcuffed Maldonado. Pitch was very close to the zone, 2-1. Marcell Ozuna on deck. Riley at first. The 2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. So a 2-2. Riley will be going at the crack of the bat. Update in Chicago. The Cubs have just taken the lead. Well, we're in Chicago here too. Update on the north side. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on. Hit high and deep into right field. Wind's going to smack it down, and the catch will be made by Benintendi. But not before your Atlanta Braves put a 6 spot up on the board. It's 6-0. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th.
I don't get offended when people tell me that I look tired. I am tired, and God forbid I look like what I am. Maybe then someone will look at me across the room and go, should I bother her with my useless bullshit today? Maybe not. She looks a little bit tired. And then we'll all live happily ever after, because on that day, I was left alone.
Y'all, my 6th grade teacher used to tell me if I didn't do well in school, I would wind up working on the back of a garbage truck. Little does she know the garbage man actually makes more money than she does.
What did the buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bison.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play by play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
I've been worried sick.
Relax, honey. I just took him to the mall to hang out.
The mall closes at 9. It's 12 o'clock.
You stopped off for ice cream. When the did we get ice cream?
Baseball means what those of us who hold it in our heart need it to mean. It can be a game, a pastime, or it can be something by which we measure the seasons of our lives, or it can be something that serves metaphorically for the battles, the wars, the triumphs, and the tragedies of any form of human conflict. I'm content for it to be a game. And I think that more than anything else, it tells me that there's something in the world that I can count on, and that's never going to let me down.
Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back to Braves Country Baseball. First pitch on the way from Charlie Martin, swung on, rifled down the left field line, just foul underneath the glove of a diving Austin Riley. 0-1. Braves 6, Shy Sox nothing. The 0-1 pitch. Swung on, fouled down the line. Luis Robert, by far their best hitter, fouls it away. It's 0-2. So an 0-2 count. The pitch from Morton. Cutter misses up high. 1-1. The 1-1. Charlie turns and deals. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Nasty curveball off the edge. That'll bring the right-handed bat of Andrew Vaughn. Vaughn, once thought of as one of the top prospects in baseball, takes the first pitch right there for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1, right there on the outer edge, 90 miles an hour, just above the kneecaps, 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Morton comes set, lets her fly. Whoa, that ball ricochets off the top of the glove of Darno goes to the backstop. That was nowhere near the zone. I mean, Wilt Chamberlain couldn't have reached that ball. Good night. The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide, 2-2. The 2-2 from Charlie. Lifts the glove and lets her go. Curveball swung on, lifted high into center field, not very deep. Camping underneath it is Michael Harris II. He'll catch it about chest high to away. They're going to come out there and talk to Charlie. He's at 91 pitches. And I guess that's it. Really strange. He was cruising along, and Brian Snicker, he says enough is enough. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, pitching change to get the last out here in the 6th.
I need you to be honest with me.
I am being honest with you, dude.
This is gonna go a lot easier if you're honest.
And I will, yeah, dude.
Yeah. What are you on right now?
Cloud 9. What? On Cloud 9?
No, what are you on right now?
One?
You gotta be honest.
I'm on one, dude. You know what
Stop. What are you on right now, man?
TikTok, what? Instagram, all of them. I'm on all of them.
I'm not talking about your ads. Drugs.
Sure, if you got some.
Armchair. What your favorite type of ice cream says about you. If your favorite type of ice cream is chocolate or vanilla, you're a classic person. You tend to keep to yourself. You do have a lot of friends though, and you're a pretty dope person. Now, if your favorite type of ice cream is pistachio, you either have a taste bud issue or you're 50. That's it. Now, chocolate chip cookie dough, you, my friend, are smart, immaculate, beautiful. Now, I don't know why, but when someone says their favorite ice cream is cotton candy, they're either 5 or they smell like the entire Bath and Body Works store. And if your favorite ice cream is coffee, you, my friend, have a coffee addiction. You should probably get that checked out.
Things change so fast in the United States. All of us had the experience, even by the time we're 40 often, of going back to the place where we grew up and finding everything changed. And something about baseball seems to tie us into that change, or to link us, to carry us across the decades and the times. As the new players come up and the old, formerly new players become old, there's a kind of continuity to it that we don't find in our neighborhoods, where the old factory is torn down, condominiums go up, and baseball, for all its changes, continues. 3 strikes are still an out.
Welcome back. Dylan Lee is the pitcher. First pitch on the way from Lee is a swing and a miss strike at the top of the zone. It's on 1. Lee facing Sheets, the left-handed designated hitter. The 0-1. Slider just on the outer edge, 1-1. Rain is really starting to come down. I talked about this. It was, looking at the radar, it was supposed to start coming over. I think the worst of it is planned for the next 10 to 15 minutes. After that, it looks a lot better. The 1-1 pitch right there for a strike at the top of the zone. It's 1-2. I think in a perfect world, they'd like to play through it. So a 1-2 count from Lee. The pitch. Caught looking, strike 3. He got caught watching the paint dry, and that'll end the inning. Dylan Lee finishes off the 6th. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Hot Atlanta GA in a cold one, up 7-0.
I'm not crazy. I'm sorry, I didn't even believe that.
How you doing? Hi, sir. I would like to look at your most expensive Hank Aaron card, please. Got just the one. Only 4 in circulation, $31,000. Oh, well, that's very, very fine. Yeah. Let me look at your least expensive Hank Aaron card, please.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Stan Musial is one of the most underrated players of all time. He had 3,630 hits, which puts him 4th on the all-time list. But weirdly enough, Stan the Man had exactly 1,815 hits at home and exactly 1,815 hits on the road.
In Spanish?
Yes.
Gracias todos para los... I don't know how to say compliments.
No?
Compliments.
Hey, Braves Country, this is Mac Magee with Braves Country Radio. We are bringing you pitch by pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves all year long. Please like and subscribe today. It's free, and it helps us bring you more of the game we all love. Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball.
So, who else hates it when you get up on a Monday morning?
Although the first World Series had been a huge success, the reputation of the game continued to suffer as brawling fans drove away paying customers. Now, Van Johnson ordered his American League owners to have their stadiums patrolled to keep rowdiness down. Players and managers, as well as fans, were expected to behave.
We got us a cold one, a windy one, a rainy one. But it's a 6-0 one. We'll take it. We head to the top of the 7th, hoping we can get this whole game in. First pitch on the way to Ozuna, swung on, pops it up, can of corn, over towards the first base dugout, drifting just about 2 rows back. Vaughn gave chase. It's 0-1. Stay tuned for the post-game show. Braves Country tonight follows right here on this same feed. I'm trying to win an argument, so hopefully folks will hang around for the post-game show. I want to do it all on one feed. The argument was that it was better to do it on 2. The 0-1 pitch. Outside wide, 1-1. So a 1-1 count to Ozuna. Nobody on. Braves lead it 6-0. The 1-1 pitch takes a swing and a miss at a curveball way out of the zone. What bet did you lose, Goat, that you have to go to a Royals White Sox game? The 1-2 pitch. Outside wide. 2-2. I don't think he's lined up, but how cool would it be if Soroka was pitching that game? I think he's pitching earlier in that series. The 2-2. Swing, and that ball's rifled over to first. It's an atom ball, a 2-hopper right into the glove of Vaughn. He backhands it, stabs it, steps on the pillow, 1 away. That's in Kauffman Stadium, I believe, that Goat's going to. That is one of my all-time favorite stadiums. I feel like Goat's been to that stadium before. I got a chance to go there. I think it was 2009, was the summer of 2009. Cardinals Royals Father's Day. First pitch on the way to Michael Harris second is inside for a ball. It's 1-1. 1-0, excuse me. The 1-0. Swung on. That ball's rifled back up the middle, but they had him played perfectly. It's a liner, a 1-hopper. It's going to be a 6-3 put out, 2 away. Yeah, I had a blast in Kansas City. Went there for the Culinary National Championships, and I'm pretty sure that was 2009. And got a chance to go to the Negro League Hall of Fame. That thing is phenomenal. Got a chance to go see Royals Cardinals. We were there a week, but the competition was 1 day. So we were put up in the swanky hotel as the first pitch on the way to Orlando Arcia. It's fouled back out of play. It's 0-1. Talk about a fish out of water. I was in a really nice hotel in Kansas City. We flew in on a Sunday morning, got over to Kauffman Stadium to watch that game. The 0-1 pitch to Arcia. Swung on, chopped over towards third. It's going to be a 5-3 put out, and that'll end the inning. 3 up, 3 down. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Normally I have this set up, but I'm going to have to grab it real quick. I think we can make it work. 7th inning stretch time, y'all. Let's get it. welcome back. They did not do the traditional take me out to the ball. I mean, seventh inning stretch in Chicago because of the rain threat. So they're back a lot faster than they're supposed to. We are back. Trying to bring the scoreboard back up. There we go. So a 1-2 count, Dylan Lee facing DeYoung. Rain still coming down. Braves lead at 6-0. The first pitch on the way, swung on, fouled back. It's 1-2. The 1-2, lefty-righty matchup. Dylan Lee, the southpaw, digs in, swing, and chops that onto his instep. We'll do it again. That rain is really coming down. Lee comes set, the 8th pitch of his outing. The pitch. Swung on, popped up high and out of play. We'll do it again. Braves 6, Whitesox nothing. Bottom of the 7th inning, the 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses high, 1-2. The 2-2, kicks and fires. Swung on, pops it up. Chasing over it is Acuna in the corner. Will it stay in play? Nope, it's going to hit the screen. Do it again. Who was it that was asking about Glenn Kuiper? I've not heard that name in for years. He was the Oakland A's broadcaster, wasn't he? So a 2-2 count. There's still some brave souls sitting out there in those bleachers watching the game. They need to give them season tickets. The 2-2. Swung on, pops it back foul. They are expecting the rain to go by soon. That's why they haven't called the game, because the last thing they want to do is have to have a long rain delay. The 2-2 from Lee. He lets her go. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Change up right over the top of it as it dove underneath the knees. 1 away. Nice pitch by Lee. That ball was just cutting down below his hands. Could not catch up. So that'll bring Nicky Lopez to the plate. Little Nicky, lefty-lefty matchup. The pitch from Lee. Down and away, it's 1-0. The 1-0. Lopez steps out of the box, gets back in. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 83 miles an hour, just over the top. So a 1-1 count. He's gone slider, slider, both in the low 80s. The 1-1, that one is in the dirt. Another slider. Cubs lead the Rockies 3-0. That game is in the bottom of the 7th. It looked like the Keystone Cops out there for the Rockies in the outfield. On the 3 runs were scored all on one play as the 2-1 pitch swung on, sliced foul and out of play over the third base dugouts. 2-2. The Cubs, I believe, had runners on first and second, and there was a ball hit to the left fielder. and they were thinking about sending the runner. The ball goes under his glove, so they send both as the 2-2 pitch. Slice down the left field line. Up against that screen, Kelnick could not catch up. 2-2. So after the ball goes underneath the fielder's glove, he got it back into the infield, and they bobbled that and mischanged that. So it ends up being, it'll be a bunch of errors, but it was essentially an inside the park home run for the Cubs. And those are the only 3 runs that have scored in that game. The 2-2, Lee comes set, lets her go. Swung on, comebacker up over the mound, scoops it, flips it. Arcia's got him, and there's 2 away. 6-3 put out if you're scoring at home. But yeah, back to that whole Kansas City trip. That was a phenomenal trip. I enjoyed it. The Negro League Museum, the Cardinals Royals game on Father's Day, and I think, if memory serves me correct, I know he hit 1. I think Albert Pujols hit 2 home runs that day. The first pitch is popped up from Lee, popped up high in the sky, making the fair catch in left center, shallow left center, is Money Mike. He'll make the catch, or at least I think it's him. The masked man will head to the dugout. The Braves, 6. Sox, nothing. Top of the 8th we go.
My daughter just asked me if she could turn the heat up in the house. I told her, hell no, you better go grab one of them hoodies you had on when it was 100 degrees outside.
I'm going to show you guys how to cook like a true Kentucky boy. All you need to start is some lithium batteries and some Sudafed.
Update! My house is gone! Usually when somebody invites me over to their house and I drive by and see more than 3 cars, I just usually go on home because I kind of feel like it could be an intervention.
MLB teams are required to apply a small dab of mud to the 13 dozen baseballs used during a standard MLB game. Every team has been muddying baseballs since the 1950s, and they've used only one special type of mud, magic mud, found on the Delaware River in New Jersey, that provides the perfect grip. That mud has been harvested by one family for nearly 80 years. The mud takes 6 weeks to harvest and process, and the best part, only the Bentliff family knows the exact location of the magic mud.
Soldiers played ball in camps and on battleships, on fields in Flanders, and in hastily constructed ballparks throughout France. Grover Cleveland Alexander served in the trenches with an artillery unit and emerged from the fighting shell-shocked, his hearing damaged, drinking more heavily than ever to forget the horrors he had seen. Though Branch Rickey was 36 and had 4 children, he went to war too, became a major, and commanded a unit that included Captains Ty Cobb and Christy Mathewson. Cobb and Mathewson did not get to France until after the shooting stopped. But during a drill, Mathewson was exposed to poison gas that fatally seared his lungs. He would live for 7 more years, but his great career was over.
Braves Country Radio, pull up a chair. Your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Yes, sir. The Braves are up 6-0. Top of the 8th inning. The rain's coming down. We're in the top of the 8th. They're going to try to play through this. I know the Braves want to get home, or not get home, get to the hotel, get out of this mess. I'm sure the White Sox do too. Game 4 of the season, the White Sox have already packed it in. White Sox are like, we'll try it again next year, man. This ain't working. Devi Garcia is coming to the hill. Garcia the right-hander. First pitch on the way is right there for a strike. It's 0-1. Travis d'Arnaud digs in the 0-1 pitch. 95 miles an hour. kind of a check swing. Said he went around 0-2. You're not going to get the benefit of the doubt when it's rainy and cold from the umpire. They're going to ring you up every time. The 0-2 pitch swung on, chopped over to first. Vaughn's got it, steps on the pillow, and there's one away. If Deivi Garcia sounds familiar, you American League fans, Garcia was with the New York Yankees up until 2023 when he was released and went over to the White Sox. The first pitch on the way to Kelenic is up top for a ball. It's 1-0. Remember at one point they had big. His first year, actually couple of years with the Yankees, he was being looked upon as not necessarily a closer, but a setup guy that they would be able to lean on. The 1-1 to Kelenic. Garcia comes set in the dirt, nowhere near the zone, 2-1. I haven't really followed him since he's been over with the White Sox. I see these names sometimes. I have to do a double take. I was like, is that the same guy? The 2-1 pitch. Swing! Pops it back foul. It's 2-2. So a 2-2 count. Jarred Kelenic's 1 for 3. The strikeout. He's batting .600. Can't ask for a better start from this young man. The 2-2. Outside wide, 3-2. That is the only drawback to this scoreboard. It seems like it zips out every once in a while. The 3-2 pitch. What in the world is going on there? Hopefully that calms down. All right. Full count. Time is called by Kelenic. But I do think I like this layout better. I think we had issues with it before. We tried using it a while back as a 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away. And I believe what the issue was before was it was making the site crash. But hopefully now that we're on a different site using a different application, we won't have that same problem. That'll bring Ronald Acuna Jr. to the plate. Acuna, or at least I think it's him with the mask and all. First pitch on the way, swing and a miss. 95 right down the pipe on the outer edge. It's 0-1. The 0-1 to Ronnie. 1 for 4 at the double. 96 miles an hour. Just misses out of the zone. 1-1. So a 1-1 count. Acuna batting .375. Pitch inside. 2-1. Braves 6. Sox nothing. The 2-1 pitch. Whoa! Inside 96 miles an hour. Has Acuna dancing backwards. 3-1. I would say that may be a purpose pitch, but I don't think Deivi Garcia knows where he's throwing the ball. You got to figure anyone who's in the 8th inning in a 6-0 game for the Chicago White Sox this year probably doesn't have the best command. So a 3-1 count to Acuna. Steps out of the box on the timeout, wipes his bat down as the rain's still coming down. The 3-1 pitch, inside high, ball 4. So Ronald Acuna Jr. works his way aboard. Got mixed feelings here. I know he wants to steal, and I know he wants to get those numbers. All these games count with the rain and everything. I kind of hope he lets him take it easy. Let's see, he needed some kind of injury. Ozzie Albies comes in. He takes the first pitch right there at the knees for a strike. It's 0-1. The 0-1. Garcia lets her go. Swing and a miss. 94 up top. 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Pitch on the way, swung on, slice, foul, and out of play. We'll do it again. From the vantage point of where the cameras are showing, it looks like the rain has subsided. You got a runner on first and Ronald Acuna Jr. 2 outs, 2 strikes. The pitch. Swing, and that ball's lifted into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Ronald Acuna Jr. will go first to third, and Ozzie will take it easy and just stay with the single. He may have been able to stretch that out in a game where you didn't have a wet track and it wasn't already 6-0. I'm sure Goodwin, our first base coach, probably just told him to ride the brakes there. There's chances. We getting I think we're getting the tarps out, so we're going to get that's what we're doing. We're going to get a rain delay. What we're going to do is instead of the post-game show, we're going to do a pre-post game with this rain delay. I'm going to take a quick break, get my notes together, and we will do the Braves country tonight during this rain delay. So we will be back in a moment. Keep it locked in here. The Braves are up 6-0. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, and the tarps are coming on to the field.
Here are some baseball facts that you might not have known. Hall of Famer Larry Walker was a big fan of the number 3. He wore the number 33 for his entire career. His first contract with the Expos was $3 million, and the most stolen bases he had in a season was 33. He also got married on November 3rd at 3:33 p.m. His career batting average with the Rockies was .333, and he was the 333rd member of the Hall of Fame.
The final weeks of the 1908 National League season saw a fierce struggle between the Chicago Cubs and their arch rivals, the New York Giants. With the pennant on the line, they met at the Polo Grounds on September 23rd. In the bottom of the 9th, there were 2 outs and 2 men on for the Giants, with the score tied 1-1. Giant pinch hitter Moose McCormick was on third, representing the winning run. Fred Merkle was the runner on first. Al Bridwell, the Giant shortstop, was up to bat. He lined the very first pitch past Cubs second baseman Johnny Evers into center field for a clean single. Moose McCormick lumbered home. The Giants had won the game and most likely the pennant.
Trying to explain the Merkle boner in 25 words or less is like trying to explain relativity to kindergartners. It's a force out, and under the rules of baseball, and this had happened in a game umpired by the same umpire 3 weeks earlier, so Evers knew where he stood. Under the rules of baseball, the play was not completed so long as there was a force out possible, and with the force out concluded, the run that scored didn't count. It ended up determining who won the pennant that year. It also ended up leaving poor Fred Merkle with this eponym created to embarrass and humiliate him and his ghostly presence even to this day.
You're in Braves country.
Welcome in Braves country. I'm Mac Magee. We are in a rain delay, a weather delay, and I'm going to try something real quick. See if we can get this opened up. We're going to open up the phone lines for anyone that wants to call. If not, just chat away, and we're going to experiment with the phone lines. But if not, just chat away, and we'll answer anything that you got going on in the chat. I'm trying to expand the chat so I can see it a little better. And we can take any calls that you want. Now, let me put the number on the screen. Let me find the number real quick. As I'm here with you. You may not be able to hear me because I'm not right in front of the microphone, but here it is. All right, so let me go ahead and put the number in the chat because please remember we are on radio, so please keep it clean. Please do not say anything crazy. But we'll talk anything you want to talk about in the world of sports and obviously Atlanta Braves. But there is the number right there. Keep it family friendly. That's all we ask. So there's the number on the screen. And 678-960-9700. We're going to try to attempt this to see how this goes and kind of go from there. But until then, we will talk about the Atlanta Braves. Looking at that first series against the Phillies, I think is the main thing we want to talk about because you're talking about we go into Philadelphia, we win the first 2 games of a 3-game series. And the only complaint I have on the entire series, and I know it's nitpicking, but I really felt like we could have won that game had Brian Snitker played the bullpen a little different yesterday. He left in with Aaron Bummer. There was a spot in the game where the Braves were still clinging into that game, and he leaves the left-hander in who splits against righties or much worse. He's not one of these lefties that fares both. And you've got 3 right-handed bats in the heart of the Philadelphia lineup that are due up, and he doesn't go to the pen to go. He could have went a number of different ways, but just go get yourself a right-hander. Pierce Johnson, probably not Jesse Chavez because he had to pitch so many pitches the day before because of Max Fried's implosion. But all in all, you got to be talking about essentially, we gave in to, well, let's hope things turn out well. Now, the double play attempt happened, and he was clearly safe. It got overturned, and then that's where it all fell apart. But all in all, you can't complain about what we did going into Philadelphia, winning 2 of 3. I mean, if you listen to any of the damn pundits in the offseason, national pundits, they are convinced the Phillies are going to get our number. This is it. This is the year they win the division, blah, blah, blah. And once again, we're right back where we are. The Braves, I think, have shown that they're the better team. Now, did the Phillies play their best baseball? No, but neither did the Braves. I mean, you're talking about a series where Max Fried only goes 1 inning. If it weren't for the blown call by the home plate umpire, the hack, it may have played out differently for Max Fried. But the fact of the matter is he didn't make the pitches, and he got chased out of the game. So I want to do like a good, bad, and ugly. And the good, I think you got to look. This is over the series. We're going to do more of these as the season goes on. But the good is, here we go. We got a phone call. Welcome to Braves Country Radio. Who do we got on the line?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? How you doing?
Good. How are you? Who are we talking to?
I'm good. My name is Jacob.
Hey, Jacob. What can we? What you got today for Braves Country Radio?
I'm just hanging out at home. I'm in Hawaii,
Do you have a question or a comment or?
I know. I've been watching the Braves game on the YouTube channel.
Okay. You a big Braves fan?
So what? No, I'm an Angels fan, but I'm an Angels fan. My Angels, they play today against the Miami Marlins. I almost said Florida Marlins, but they're the Miami Marlins.
Well,
they used to be the Florida Marlins back then.
Right. Well, all of us in
But
Braves
then,
country are Angels fans today, then, because anytime you're playing one of our division
What's that?
rivals, we're definitely pulling for you.
What's that?
I said we are Angels fans today if you're playing the Marlins, because we're obviously here in
Why
Braves
are the
country.
Marlins in your guys' division? Are the
Yes,
Marlins
sir.
in the Braves division?
Yes, sir.
Oh wow.
See,
Yeah.
it looks like you got Max Meyer versus Silseth tonight for the Angels Marlins.
Max Meyer. Oh wait, Max Meyer's the pitcher for the Marlins. Yeah.
Yeah. He's going
And
up
then
against Silseth.
Silseth is the pitcher for the Angels.
Right. Chase Silseth.
Oh wow.
That should
Silseth,
actually be
I've
a pretty
heard of-
good. That should be a pretty good pitching matchup. I'm sure you're familiar with Silseth, but Max Meyer has
I've
actually.
heard of Silseth. Yeah.
Yeah. So Max Meyer has actually had a pretty good spring. So the Marlins are actually pretty high on him this year.
Yeah, the Angels. We just picked up what's his name, Miguel Sano.
Oh, is that right? I didn't even know he was still.
Well, I shouldn't say. Well, yeah, we kind of did pick him up because he made the team.
Okay. I'd forgotten all
And I
about.
knew he was going to make the team because he took over for Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, that's
because we needed a designated hitter, and
right.
Since Shohei's not with us anymore, since Shohei's not with the Angels anymore, we might as well have another designated hitter, and we got Miguel Sano. He was good in the spring.
Miguel Sano has had pockets in his career because I do a lot of fantasy baseball, so I pay attention to more than just the Braves. And I can remember.
Hey, who am I speaking with?
This is Mac Magee, Braves Country Radio.
What's up, Mac?
Miguel Sano has been known to have a very good bat. The biggest thing with him over his career is that he goes into slumps, but when he's hot, he's one of the best power hitters in the game.
No, he was literally he was when the Angels were in Arizona for spring training, he was hitting home runs out of the ballpark.
Right.
I mean, he was hot in the spring. The Angels, they lost their first 2 games of the season, but they got their first win yesterday.
All right, well, you got anything else?
So what, the Braves game is in a rain delay? What's up with that?
Yeah, it's raining hard in Chicago right now. They're in a rain delay. Trying to get some news on that. It didn't.
I heard about
that,
dude. No, when I was watching the Dodgers Cardinals game the other day, they were in a rain delay for a couple minutes.
Yeah, I just got the news to come in. Whitesox, they're saying that the rain should be out of the area in about 15 minutes, which means
it's an official game though, so they could.
Correct.
I mean, they could call this game because it's an official game, but I have a feeling they'll.
But it looks like it's gonna. It looks like it will resume in the pretty near future because the rain's going to be out of the area in the next 15 minutes, and they'll get the field ready right after that. So.
Yeah, because I know the 2 Chicago teams are playing well. Because obviously you guys are playing the White Sox, and then the Rockies are playing the Cubs.
Yeah, the Cubs are up 5-0 in the 8th in that one. And there's and there's a couple other games that are starting to get underway because this is opening day for a lot of teams.
My Angels don't play until 6:40 Eastern, which is 12:40 my time.
Right. All right. Well,
Jacob, I'm in Hawaii, so.
It was good talking to you. Aloha, and we hope you call back. Hello. I think we lost whoever we just lost. I'm not sure what happened there. If you tried to call in, I couldn't tell what was going on there. Call us right back. Braves Country Radio. We're in a rain delay. The number to call in is 678-960-9700. 678-960-9700. We're in a rain delay. The Braves lead this game 6-0, but it does look like it's going to get back underway very shortly. I was a little surprised that they held up and put the tarps out, because looking at the radar, it looked like it was going right through. But I guess they're just trying to get that to come through. There was water that was starting to build on top of the. Welcome to Braves Country Radio. Who am I talking to?
Hey, man, this is Wonky, man. What's up?
Hey, how are you?
So I'm just wondering, man, are we done with Max Fried?
You mean, well, we can't be done with him. We got a whole season to go,
I
right?
mean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
It's just like, last season did not look amazing.
Yeah, I don't think he's, okay, so I think in a perfect world, they would re-sign him at around that $25 million range. And they could, so he's going to be 31 years old. They would probably sit down right now and give him a 5 for 125. But I don't think Max Fried's going to do that. I think Max Fried is looking, if you look at some of the numbers that some of these guys have gotten, if you look at just like Carlos Rodon just a couple of years ago, right? They got the 5 years or 6 years for, he was averaging 31 million on the AAV. So Max Fried's going to be looking for that same type of deal. 5 years, 150, 160. I don't think the Braves are going to go there. I just don't.
No, I think that you would be better off getting rid of him. There's so many great, I don't know, mid-range or starting pitchers out there.
Yeah.
That you could sign, opposed to having, I mean, and there's so many lefties, you know.
There are, and you also have to look at this too, and this is pie in the sky, everything works out, right? But they've got Strider locked down long term. Chris Sale's going to be a part of the rotation for the next couple of years. I'd say this is probably Charlie Morton's last season, unless he just gets rejuvenated. I mean, I do know one thing about Charlie Morton. He loves playing, and he loves playing for the Braves. So he could come back. But let's just assume he's gone. The rest of it, I mean, I think A.J. Smith-Shawver is going to be a big part of the 2025.
Yeah, I think he's a solid pitcher. I think he's probably your number 3.
Right. I'm looking at him 2025, and he'll probably get somewhere between 5 to 10 starts this year, right? And then the other obvious thing is he's not a lefty. Like, none of these guys that I'm mentioning are lefties, but Herschel Waldrop looks phenomenal, but he still needs some seasoning. And you could have him as a part of the rotation. Not to mention, I mean, we even talked about Bryce Elder, right?
I forget he exists sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is they're so deep, and of course, knock on wood, but they're so deep, you worry that it's almost like a gluttony of riches. But the thing is, the way these injuries happen in Major League Baseball, we want as many pitchers as we can have, because you never know.
You got to be deep.
Yeah,
you got to be deep. I mean, you got people like Jordan Hicks that are going out and starting games now.
Right.
There's people out there that
and I don't think they've closed the deal on Dylan Dodd either. I really don't. I think I still think they believe that Dylan Dodd can be a formidable number 4, number 5 starter. He's not going to be a guy you're going to lean on, right? But he could be a guy that eventually ends up in the bullpen or as a number 5 starter. And they got a couple other guys down on the farm that they're still trying to develop. And I think when it comes down to it, it's a numbers game, and Max Fried is going to try to get as much money as he can. I
hope if he decides to get as much money as he can, that he goes and plays for the Nationals and is very happy there. And I hope the Braves can bring in there are solid, dependable left-hand arms out there that are not going to demand the money that that Fried's going to demand.
Yeah, and the other thing is, let's say you do sign Fried, even if it's a club-friendly deal, let's say it's $25 million. I don't think he'll sign for $25, but let's say he does. the other thing you look at is, okay, so is that going to handicap us from signing some of these other guys when they get to the end of their deal? Because I'm more concerned with locking up Ronald Acuna Jr. long term than I am worried about keeping Max Fried. And
no, and I mean, you need Acuna locked up. You need Ozuna locked up. I mean, there's a lot of these guys that. I mean, like Austin Riley. Austin Riley is got one more year on his, on his rookie stuff and all.
Well, Austin Riley's locked up long term. They signed him to a long term deal last year.
Well, okay, that's solid then.
Yeah, I mean, all this stuff happens so fast. I get it. They locked him up to a. I'm pulling up the numbers right now. I'm trying to remember the exact numbers, but he's got here it is. He's got a 10 years, $212 million contract, and that's going to run him all the way through. There's actually a club option for 2033, so in theory, he's not going to be unrestricted free agent until 2034 when he's 37 years old. Yeah,
I mean that's solid. I believe he's like the core pretty much of. I mean, I guess Acuna is the core, but
right.
I think Austin Riley and the solid production that he puts out is, something the Braves need to stick with.
And they still have Acuna for. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like Acuna's going to be a free agent anytime soon. They still have Acuna until the end of 27. So they still have five more seasons of him because there's still an option on that. So this entire core's together for the next 4 years or so, but there may come a time where they want, because remember, we've got Harris locked up, we've got Riley locked up, Olsen's fairly locked up, Ozzy's going to come up for.
Well, I mean, how old is Olsen now? 34.
Olsen? No, he's in. He
totally
just turned 30. He turned 30 Friday.
He turned 30. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
You might be thinking
I don't know why.
Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm feeling like he's been around so much longer than he has. I guess because he's just been such an impact player. But
right, he's 30. He's from Atlanta, and they have him locked up until they have a club option on 2030. So in theory, he's a free agent in 2031.
Okay.
So all these guys are on club-friendly deals, but you got to look at the other thing is that when some of these other guys, like an Ozzy, who signed a very club-friendly deal, like an Ozzy Albies, like an Acuna.
Well, why would you not want to play for the Braves?
Well, that's the
why
thing.
Why would you take a much bigger deal somewhere else that you're not playing with the Braves? Like I say, Max Fried. If Max Fried wants to go to Washington, if he wants to go to Miami and try to win games there, then, take the money and, run or whatever. But if you want to be competitive and win championships, well, you sign for less and play for the Braves.
Right.
And
I mean, look, essentially that's how they're getting these guys to agree to much more friendly deals, is because, first of all, these guys love winning. They want to win. It appears that the clubhouse together, they all get along, right? So it's become a family, and they want to win. They're getting paid. It's not like they're getting paid peanuts. And so look, Ozzy's deal comparatively, it's a very club friendly deal. He becomes a free agent in 2028, and he's only getting paid $7 a year. Conversely, all the other guys are making over 20, right?
Yeah.
But I think there's a path for them to extend Ozzy to before he ever gets to the end of that deal. I think it would be imperative, because if you can extend Ozzy, Acuna is more likely to re-sign where Ozzy's going to be at. So I would make it I'd make it more of a priority to extend Ozzy than to worry about getting Max Fried in. Because let's be honest, 31-year-old pitchers, there's a high chance of an injury.
Oh, at any point. And I don't want to come across like I hate on Max Fried. Max Fried's
No,
one of my
no, of course not.
My favorite left-handed pitchers in baseball, outside of probably Blake Snell. Max Fried's one of my faves, but
yeah, I love Max Fried. Like he'll always have a special place in our heart, because if you think about what he did in the 2021 World Series, where he went out and he just pushed in Game 6. And we were all kind of worried going in, because if people kind of tend to forget, Ian Anderson was the best pitcher on the team realistically at that point. And I remember we were going into Game 6, and Fried was pitching 6, Anderson was pitching 7. And I thought to myself, well, I don't know if we're going to win with Fried on the mound, because he'd been kind of up and down. He'd gotten bombed in L.A. and whatnot. But I knew Ian Anderson wasn't going to lose. And then Max Fried just went out there and spun a gem, and the rest.
Yeah, I mean that was when I came over to the side of Max Fried and was like, man, this guy.
He's just a bulldog.
He's just solid. I mean, when you got to be clutch, Max Fried can be clutch. I don't know. Seems like now that he's not getting those clutch opportunities because of the fact that the Braves go out there and they score so many runs.
Right.
That he's not being pushed. And when he's not being pushed, then I don't know, bad things happen.
And to that point of the whole thing, remember, later on this year, Ian Anderson's coming off the IL. They're expecting him to be somewhere around June or July. My guess would be July. And Huascar Ynoa is in the bullpen down on the farm, but there's talk about stretching him out. So all of these guys are still in the fold. And so Max Fried, I think, is going to end up being a guy that gets pushed out because it's a numbers game. And there's got to become a time and place where you're like, you know what? We can't spend $31 million on Max Fried because we want to lock these other guys up, and we've got all these arms. And you wish him well. I hope he goes to the American League and has a phenomenal season, phenomenal career.
I really do. I hope he goes to Detroit and takes that Detroit system to the next level for a couple of years.
I mean, the no-brainer to me, go to the Angels. He's from Southern California. Go to the Angels. Because the Dodgers, I don't believe, are going to be back in the truck up next year because they spent so much money on Yamamoto. Ohtani's going to be back in the fold. Dodgers are very deep in pitching. People have talked about Max Fried going to the Dodgers. I just don't think it's likely. I think he's more likely.
No, I mean, maybe Seattle. Seattle would be a good landing place
Seattle. Yeah,
for him.
I think it's likely he's West Coast, and I just hope it's in the American League so we don't see him much. Go make $200 million with the Angels. I know we'll never see you in the playoffs, right? So.
Oh, that's a sad statement, man. I like the Angels too.
I pull for him, and now that Ron Washington's there, I want to see him do well. But right now, they're not a well-run organization.
No, they're not. I mean, if you look at that pitching staff up and down, that pitching staff is just an embarrassment.
It's bad. Like you wonder. I really do wonder. I get why Ron Washington, he wanted a job, right? He wanted to. Yeah. But you really wonder, like, why did he leave Atlanta to go to the Angels at that point? Not that the Angels are some terrible place.
I thought the other day when they were introducing the new third base coach, who's the new third base coach? I forget. But whenever they were introducing the new third base coach, and they were like, he's replacing Ron Washington, and Ron Washington went to take the head coaching job I'm like, man, when a third base coach is your first option for, right. Not, dogging on Ron Washington, but when a third base coach is your first coach, there's a lot of coaches out there.
Yeah, the thing about Ron Washington, he's got so much experience, and he managed Texas to the World Series. He got in trouble with the drug problems, but that was 15 years ago, right? So I just think he wanted another chance, and I don't think because he took that job, it tells me that he wasn't up for a lot of others. So he just kind of looked at it as a chance. And the thing is, I don't know enough about Ron Washington's personal life. Maybe he's got family out there in Southern California. I don't know. But
Could be.
I wish him well, him and EY. I hate that they left, but I'm glad that he went somewhere that I can pull for him and not pull against him.
Yeah, it's always nice when they go to the opposite division.
And look, if the worst thing that happens is that he gets fired and comes back to Atlanta, well, then it'll be fine, right? And he made his bag on the way.
Maybe he get. I don't know. Maybe he gets fired and there's another coaching position out there. I mean, if you can get 63 wins with the Angels this season.
Yeah, I thought it was incredible. Their over-under in Vegas was 72.5, and that was one of our locks that we gave preseason, was take the Angels on the under. 72.5, man, that's a lot of wins to come.
That's a lot of wins.
Division.
I think if they can get 63 or 64 wins, they should really be pretty happy about that.
I agree because it's not a team. Look, Mike Trout looks miserable, and Anthony Rendon seems like he's being held hostage out there. And like
when Sandoval is your
ace,
your ace. I mean,
that's a problem. That's a problem.
That's a sad statement on things.
Yeah, that's a problem. I mean, you got to figure, who's it? Evans says, I doubt they win over 50 games. I mean, that would be all time bad. If you only win 50 games, that would be.
I mean, I think 50 is kind of low, but I mean, I think that below 60. I think below 60 is.
I got some other calls coming in, but let me get to them. It's good talking to you.
Man.
Yes, sir. Call back. Braves Country Radio. Who am I talking to?
Candace.
Hello?
Oh.
Who is this?
Speak. Hi, this is Candace.
Oh, Candace, I'm sorry. You were going in and out. What can we do for you, Candace?
I just wanted to know what you thought about the Phillies fans screaming at Spencer Strider, and I want to know why they were yelling Schwarber at him.
So you got to take the Philly fans with a grain of salt. And they are overly vocal at all times, right? And I thought it was funny. I'm trying to think of who was it that said it. I think it was Charlie Morton. Was commenting after one of the games that we won. It was either the Friday game or the Saturday game. And he, it was opening day. He was talking about how they were getting booed by the Philly fans like it was a playoff game. And he said, man, did that turn quickly. By the second inning, they were booing their own players, right?
Right.
And so they just that's become the culture with the Philly fans, is that they take pride in being hated is the best way I can put it. It's not my cup of tea. That's not the kind of fan I am, but it seems like that's the culture there in Philly, to just see how obnoxious you can be.
Okay, I thought that was reserved for New York fans.
No, Philly fans are known to be much worse. We were actually talking about this on a Red Sox podcast a couple of weeks ago, and the Red Sox fan did not know, who was not aware of how over the top Philly fans were. And we went through the whole thing of it. They've been known to boo Santa Claus, throw batteries at players. I mean, they have just all kinds of things. The entire it's kind of sad. And I'm sure there are Philly fans out there that are embarrassed by it, right? But it's kind of sad that's where it is.
Okay, because I've really never disliked fans more than I do their fans. I mean, I know the Mets really despise John Rocker.
That is a very popular opinion.
He had that coming.
What's that?
Rocker had that coming, though.
Yeah,
I love John Rocker, but he did have that coming.
Oh yeah. I'm I'm trying to see if is there an update on the not an update yet on the rain delay. It's got to be moving out fast though, because they said that the rain was moving out about 10 minutes ago. They said 15 minutes. So I got to think we'll be getting back to the action pretty quickly.
I hope
I've got another call coming in. Candace, you got anything else?
That's it.
All right. Great hearing from you. Please call back.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Braves Country Radio. This is Mac Magee. What can we do for you?
Hey, Matt, Carl from Virginia. Got a couple questions for you.
What's
one
up?
on Bryce Elder and the other one on Arcia.
Okay.
Do you think last year, after the first time around, that the league just figured out Elder and he didn't adjust?
So with Bryce Elder, this is just watching these games, doing these games, right? From what I saw of him, I really think he ran out of gas, and I think we're going to see him sooner than later. Bryce Elder, first
You
part
don't
of the
think he's going
season.
to be a 4A? He's going to turn it around.
Yeah, I really expect. I figure by the end of the season, you're going to see some kind of combination of Elder and AJ Smith-Shawver, assuming health with all the other guys, right? But some kind of where you're seeing Elder and you're seeing Shawver, because they really are trying to groom Shawver into that role for next season. But you could see it by the end of this season where Shawver and Elder, if you remember how they've been doing it the last few years, they kind of played the manipulation game with the IL and the
right.
And so I think I would guess, assuming that Fried, Strider, Morton, and Sale all stay healthy, and that's a big assumption, especially when two of the guys are in, on the backside of it, that you're still going to get about a dozen plus starts with a combination of Shawver and Elder. And Elder, his biggest thing is, I think he might have lost his confidence a little bit, but I think he just ran out of gas. His sinker was high on the back end of the season, and they were smacking it. And with him being a sinker ball pitcher that doesn't have high velocity, he still throws in the mid-90s, low to mid-90s. But his sinker has got to be right there and biting underneath the hand to where it appears like a fastball and then dives at you at the last second, right? On a right-handed bat, you're dragging it to third base. On a left-handed bat, you're rolling over it, right?
Right.
So it's not over for him, but could he be a guy that they package in a deal to trade down the road? It's a possibility, because Bryce Elder is a number 3 on most teams right now.
Right. On an earlier call, you had somebody talking about locking up players.
Uh-huh.
I know Arcia had a great year last year, and he's doing real well this year. Do you think they go with him for 3 or 4 more years, or who's down on the farm to fill in at shortstop?
So if you look at Orlando Arcia's deal, and remember last year, right before the season started, I want to say it was either opening day or the day before opening day, they broke the news that they had locked him up for the next few years. Right. And right now, looking at his numbers, I want to remember that. Yeah, okay. So right now, we've got a club option that takes us all the way through the end of the 2026 season.
Okay.
So for the next 2 years, he's under contract. Then there's a club option for just $2 million, which I'm a little surprised he signed that. But whatever. So they're paying him from this year, next year, and in 2026, a total of $6 million. Wow. I don't know why you don't just stay with him. And if they can lock him up, I think they would try to do that. I do know that they're developing some guys, but when you get guys like Grissom who've just been traded out and Shoemake, there could be an option for them to extend him again. If he thinks he's going to get high end, he's not, because he's never going to be, like, in other words, he's not Francisco Lindor, right?
Right.
But I'll tell you what, for $2 million, he's the best shortstop in baseball. I mean,
absolutely. Well, Mac, thank you. My wife and I enjoy your show. Keep it up, buddy.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. If anyone else wants to call in, the number is 678-960-9700. Remember to keep it family-friendly. We are on live radio. going back to, I kind of lost my spot. I'm trying to remember where we were at. Oh, the Phillies series. We've got, so to me, the good was Chris Sale. The good was Jared Kelenic. By midway through the spring, I think we were all like, oh my God. And then they signed Duvall, and you would at least at first think, okay, did this happen because he got a fire lit under because of Duvall? But I heard some talk about it, and evidently him and Seitzer, the hitting coach, him and Kevin Seitzer have been working on a lot of things. And one of the things, and you'll notice it now, that they've been working on with him since about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Kelenic, if you go back and look at his video before they did the adjustment, he had this high leg kick. And they said that he went to Seitzer. He did it. They didn't go to him, which is, according to Seitzer, he thinks that's always key, is when the player wants to make the move, make the change, and he's not suggesting it. That he went to Seitzer and said, I think I want to get rid of this leg kick because I'm trying to time it, and I think I'm just going to try to make base hits. And Seitzer told him that he thought that was the best thing he could do because he's got power. He doesn't need that extra oomph of power. If he really gets into one, that ball's leaving the building. And so what he did is he simplified his mechanism to where he didn't have the high leg kick and then dropping it down and then swinging through. Instead, he's just kind of sliding it. And we'll see if it holds up, but he has looked phenomenal. And Adam Duvall has looked phenomenal, has he not? We hadn't seen Adam Duvall in a couple of years on a regular basis. I'm expecting him to come in and look old. Man, Adam Duvall looks incredible. And the defense that is out there in left field now is a far cry from what we've had the last few years. I don't want to put Eddie Rosario down because we all love Eddie. You know, NLCS 2021 MVP. We're never going to forget that. That home run he hit against the Dodgers, forget about it. But but Duvall and Kelenic defensively, it's another level. And that catch that Kelenic made against the Phillies was absolutely one of the best I've seen in such a long, long time. It does look like, let me get the double check and see what time we got here. I see something coming back on the Chicago end. And have they made an announcement? Let me see here. White Sox are kind of slow to... The White Sox, they are not, they have not said anything on their Twitter feed, but let me see if the Braves have released anything, because that's, looking for it. They haven't announced anything, but the umpires are back on the field. The tarp is off. That's got to mean that we're getting ready for something here. Either they're going to call it a day or they're going to... It does look like that we're about to get back to work here in the near future. The fans are still in the stands, so I've got to figure... I just don't understand why the Chicago White Sox haven't released anything. Keep refreshing, and hopefully something pops up here in the very near future. But that was the good. The bad, when I look at this... Oh, by the way, the good too, Michael Harris and Jesse Chavez. Along with Matzik, I was impressed by Matzik. We talked about the bag. Brian Snitker sticking with Bummer. It's not the end of the world, but you would like to see. I'll tell you something else I would like to see. When Bummer, not Bummer, when Fried had that last pitch that was not called a strike, that everybody knows it was a strike, that's when I want to see Brian Snitker go Bobby Cox. I don't want overkill. I don't want you to always go out there and blow your top. But that situation, they should have went bonkers. It does look like the game is coming back. They haven't made an official announcement on Twitter yet, but I see Austin Riley getting into the box. So let's go ahead and set this up. We'll step away real quick. Looks like we're getting close for first pitch. And I'm going to reset. We'll be back in a flash.
This sucks, and it's horse, but I'm too polite to say anything because I'm a class act. This is the greatest baseball team name that has ever existed. They are the Florence Yalls. They are based in Florence, Kentucky. And you might be asking yourself, how do they get this name? The baseball team is named after the water tower in town, which says Florence Yall on it, which was previously Florence Mall, but the state of Kentucky told the city to change it because the mall hadn't been built yet. And this is the best part. Wait, the mascot is the town's water tower. I am buying stock on the Florence Yalls. I am all in.
Armchair.
It's not whether you win or lose. It's like the team that wins is the one that has the most fun. You know, that crap like that. You know, all this stuff that's contaminated America where they give every kid a trophy and they don't keep score in Little League anymore.
Armchair.
We went in the lobby there, went up to the desk and said, "What room is the babe in?" And the clerk told him. So what a different time it was. So we went to the elevator, went up the elevator to the floor, went to the door. The door was open by one of the largest men I've ever seen in my life.
Welcome back. Appreciate everybody that called and stuck around and putting comments in. Looks like we are back to work. Leon is the batter, just to refresh your memory. Runners on the corners, 2 outs. Austin Riley takes the first pitch for a ball. It is 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Kicks and fires. Comes set. Swing, and that ball's lifted high and deep into right center field. Going back on the track. Zip, boom, bam, it's gone. Ramma-lamma ding-dong, a 3-run shot, and just like that, a mighty smack over the track, and the rake goes yard. .387 happy feet, 103 miles an hour off the bat of Mr. Austin Riley and your Atlanta Braves. Take a 7. That's not right. A 9-0 lead. We'll be back in a flash here on Braves Country Radio.
Are you high?
Am I what?
High.
Hello?
Here is 10 signs that you were raised by an Irish person. Number 1, you have a very colourful vocabulary. Every now and again you'll throw in an owl, this and that, but that's okay. Number 2, you have a very staple diet that kind of consists of a lot of potatoes. Number 3, you have a belief that flat 7-Up in the microwave heated can cure any illness. Any at all. Number 4, St. Patrick's Day is a big deal and you'll be dragged down to the parade for the crack. Number 5, never worry about anything because there's always someone to light a candle for you. Number 6, they always have your back, especially in front of other people, but when you are home, you're in for it. Number 7, tea is the solution to all problems. Broke up with your boyfriend? Cup of tea. Failed your exams? Cup of tea. Number 8, there is only one type of crisp. End of. Number 9, the wooden spoon. Say no more. And number 10, the obsession with the heat. Is that heat been on? All day.
Armchair.
Does this shade of red make me look like a clown?
No. It makes you look like a prostitute who caters exclusively to clowns.
I got some advice. Everybody just shut up. Just mind your business and do you. And shut up. That's it. The world will be better. Shut up!
Look, will happily pay 75 cents to $1.50 to go to the theater. And numbers prefer baseball to theatricals. We must make the games worth witnessing, and there will be no fault found with the price. A good game is worth 50 cents. A poor one is dear at 25. Harry Wright.
You're listening to Braves Country Radio, your home for the classic call of Braves Country Baseball. Welcome back. Braves 9, Sox nothing. It really is hilarious. When the Braves are on the road, this has been going on the last 2 years. When they are on the road, their graphics are just wildly off every single time. It said 7-0 all during the break. They finally cleared it up to 9-0. I was starting to think I was going crazy. I was like, I thought we had 2 on. Like, what is it was a home run? How is it not a? Anyways, it is 9-0. Tyler Matzik will come in He's worked an inning and a third so far and has a 0 ERA. Trying to get him some work in. We don't know if there's going to be a game tomorrow because of threatening weather, and they hope they're going to get in the game Wednesday, same start time. It's a day game, 2:10 Eastern, and we will not be late on that one. That one and all the other ones going forward, we're good to go. Today was the only one that there was an issue. But tomorrow we hope to have the pitch-by-pitch, play-by-play of your Atlanta Braves, 7:40. If they don't get both games in over the next 48 hours, it's going to be a tough one. I would say they'll try to squeeze it in when Atlanta is in the area. Maybe when they go to play the Cubs, they could play a doubleheader, but that typically doesn't happen on a getaway day on Wednesday because the flights are already set for them to leave back to Atlanta. Of course, they want to get back and get ready for opening night in Truist Park on Friday night was we welcome in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Can't wait for that series. That should be a good one. Tyler Matzik is now ready, and the first pitch on the way swung on and fouled back out of play. 92 miles an hour up top, saw it off over the third base dugout. It's 0-1. Braves 9, Sox nothing. The 0-1 from Tyler. Swing and slices it foul down the line again. 92. About letter high. Goes over in the same area over the third base dugout. It's 0-2. Nine nothing your score. Game one of a 3-game set. The 0-2 from Tyler. Fastball misses wide. 1-2. Braves 9, Sox nothing. Still a gray and gloomy sky here in Chicago. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He went down. Chase went off the end of the table. And there's one away. Really, this Braves team has been... How many years have we watched Atlanta stumble out of the gates, right? I think of a few years back where it was just brutal. The 2022 season, we had a really slow start. First pitch on the way to Benintendi is just off the plate wide for a ball. It's 1-0. Andrew Benintendi, 0 for 3 with a line out, a ground out, a fly out. 133 average so far and a 321 OPS. The 1-0 swung on, and that ball is lifted foul and out of play. Down the left field line, it's 1-1. Pittsburgh leads Washington 2-1 in the 5th. Cubs did win that game against the Rockies 5-0. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 94 right down the pipe. So a 1-2 count. The pitch just misses high, 2-2. A lot of games tonight. Full slate tomorrow. The 2-2. Did he go around? Ball in the dirt. He went strike 3. Couldn't quite hold up the slider in the dirt. And Benintendi will go grab some pine. There's 2 away. Tomorrow, if the game is played, will be the coming home. Ronaldo Lopez, he gets a start for the Atlanta Braves. First pitch on the way from Matzik to Moncada. It's 1-0. Yohan Moncada, 2 for 3 with a single and a double. He was one of the top prospects in baseball just 4 or 5 years ago as the 1-0 pitch misses inside, 2-0. So a 2-0 count. The pitch. Whoa, misses high, 3-0. Standing on deck is Luis Robert. The games that are going to go on tonight at 6:40, Phillies host the Reds. That should be a good series. The 3-0 pitch misses down low, ball 4. Matzik is kicking at the landing spot in front of the mound, so maybe a little give with that rain delay. Hopefully it's not something that gets one of these guys injured. Baltimore hosts Kansas City. Angels are in Miami, and the Rays host the Rangers. All 4 of those games start before 7 o'clock Eastern. First pitch to Robert, misses. It's 1-0. The 1-0 swung on and fouled back out of play. 1-1. Say hello to Pamela in the chat. Good seeing you. Welcome in. The 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-2. So a 1-2 count. Those skies look really grim in the back center field. They need to go ahead and get this game over. Waiting for Toto and Dorothy to be flying around the background. The 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss, strike 3, and Matzik ends the inning. We'll be back in a flash. Ozuna, Harris, and Orlando Arcia coming to the plate.
Evening, sir. Where are you heading this late at night?
I was on my way to a lecture about alcohol and its effects on the human body and smoking and staying out late at night.
Who gives a lecture about that this late at night?
My wife.
Hey, Braves Country, I'm Mac Magee. Join us for Pitch by Pitch, Play by Play, the classic call of Braves Country baseball. We're bringing you Atlanta Braves baseball all year long. Jump into our pregame show, Braves Country Today, just before first pitch. Stick around for the postgame show, Braves Country Tonight, where we will open up the phone lines and react to your calls or your comments all year long. That's Braves Country Radio, pitch by pitch, play by play, your home for the classic call of Braves Country baseball.
So, Dad, I think she's the one. I'm gonna marry her.
Tell me you're sorry.
Wait, what? What?
Tell me you're sorry.
What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm not saying sorry.
Hey, until you can say you're sorry for no reason at all, you're not ready.
Why is baseball, you ask? Because it is like charity. It never faileth. It is always there except on wet grounds. And to the man who is too old to keep up with the attempt to civilize football, and too young to need so soothing a sedative as golf, who works hard when he works, who wants to rest hard when he rests, who wants a drama that is as full of surprises for the actors as it is for the audience, who wants a race that cannot be fixed like a horse race, who is so genuine and American that he wants something to kick about without meaning it, and something to yell about that everyone around him will think more of him for yelling about. To that man, baseball is the one great lifesaver in the good old summertime.
Welcome back, and well, they just called the game. Go ahead and turn my camera on real quick. They just called the game. The rain's coming down again. Remember, I told you it looked like a scene out of Wizard of Oz in the background. Well, they're bringing the tarp out, and they don't see any point of doing this at 9-0 in the 9th inning. So they have called the game. The umpires did this number coming across the field. I don't know what you saw on the Atlanta feed, but I saw it on the Chicago feed. And they did this number. They said, "We gone. Everyone's gonna go get a beer or a steak or something, and we may see you tomorrow night." Bad weather is expected in the area for the next couple of days. I do believe we're going to get the Wednesday game in. My biggest question is, do we get tomorrow night's game in? But regardless, we will be here for the pregame show, and we'll work it all out. Pregame show come on about 7 o'clock Eastern. First pitch is scheduled for 7:40 Now, for some reason they change that, we'll adjust and we'll jump on early. But looking at the weather that's projected for tomorrow night is just, I mean, good Lord. I mean, at this point, you're like, why? I prefer baseball in the open air, and we'll always prefer that. But you almost wonder at this point in 2024 why every single stadium doesn't have an option to have some kind of enclosure to go over the roof for issues like this, because it is just not going to happen. It is absolutely not going to happen. Tomorrow night, we'll see what happens. You never know with the way the weather comes in. I didn't think we were going to get today's game in. I'm glad we did, and the Braves win it 9-0. If we're going to give a game ball away, I think we gave Charlie Morton. He went out there and he fought the elements, pitched 5 2/3 shutout ball. I would have liked to have seen him get a quality start for my fantasy team, but I'd like to see him get a quality start. He didn't quite get it, but I feel good about the fact that if you're not paying attention to the cover country, as we're calling it, the cover country picks 9-4 in the year. We're 2-0 today. We took the Braves on the money line, and we took the Cubs on the money line. They both covered. So there you have that. A lot of games tonight. And look, the Braves are off and running. If there's one game you want to pay attention tonight, go Reds, beat the Phillies, because I'm more worried about the Phillies than anybody else in the National League keeping distance on that. I'm not going to worry about having the best record over the Dodgers. Whatever. They'll do us. They'll do them. We'll do we. If we win the East and beat out the Phillies, we're going to get the bye. Biggest question will be, how do we adjust to the bye this time? I'm going to get out of y'all's hair. We've been here long enough, but tomorrow we'll do the pregame show, open up the phone lines again, postgame show, and hopefully we get a baseball game. Ronaldo Lopez, I don't think I ever finished my thought, but when you're talking about what the rotation is going to look like, specifically talking about Elder and whatnot, I still believe by the time we get to the back end of the season, Ronaldo Lopez is going to be one of our setup guys. He is filthy if you haven't watched him pitch, but he's much better as a reliever because he only has 2 very dominant pitches. When they see him that 3rd, 4th time through the lineup, it's usually when he's running into problems his entire career. But when he went to the bullpen last year, holy cow, he's lights out. When the Braves hit against him last year, they raved about it at Braves Fest. Talked about, I mean, it was Olsen, it was Riley, all of them were talking about how impressive, how explosive he was. In a perfect world, he is in the back end of our bullpen heading towards the playoffs, and we'll have him. We'll have Eyeglasses. We'll have Minter. Matzik. I think Matzik's going to be one of the ones that we lean on big time. And if Bummer's our worst pitcher, we're going to be all right, guys. Bummer is probably a setup guy for a lot of other teams. They're calling it rain delay in Atlanta, but the White Sox said the game was over. So I'm a little confused. I don't know if they're confused, but once again, they have huge problems when they do road games. I don't know who's in charge of the Bally stuff when they do road games, but it is always they might have weather delay up for the next 12 hours. It appears that the game is in the books. But we'll see what happens. They said status changed to delayed rain. I don't think they're coming back. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. They called it, and Braves win it 9-0. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock will be the beginning. 7 o'clock, right after 7 o'clock, we'll come on for the pregame, and 7:40 first pitch if everything goes right. Y'all have a great one. Had a great time, and go Braves. We got us another one.